He didn't throw Ron Paul under the bus. And Chuck Norris has come a long way waking up for the New World Order. Just like Jesse Ventura's come a long way. You know, talking to Chuck Norris, he talked about how over 10 years ago he heard my show and liked it in Texas. And Chuck knows a lot more than he's letting on, I'll tell you that. So he's certainly coming along, not just in his knowledge, but what he's willing to talk about. But he certainly does like Mike Huckabee. So that was an interesting interview with him. You know, I was about to ask him about Glenn Beck, who he goes on his show and is friendly with. Glenn Beck calling for a value-added tax. Glenn Beck calling for a value-added tax. That's exactly what the Copenhagen Global Government Treaty that will be paid directly to the IMF and World Bank. We now have the treaty. It's on record, Associated Press, London Guardian, that IMF, World Bank will run the treaty, and so developing countries boycott UN climate talks because the UN is to lose its power. The UN never had any power. It was always a front for banks. It was a debating society to get all the third world countries together so they could be bought off and paid off. Guys, will you pull up again the clip of Bill O'Reilly / Glenn Beck Friday night? This is Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck talking about how they want national sales taxes and value-added taxes. Over a decade, I've told you, because I read the official government plans, Council on Foreign Relations publications, you're going to have a national sales tax that is graduated. So it's fair. Some will be exempt, but there's going to be fraud with people buying black market. So you're going to have to thumbprint and swipe a card to buy and sell. That will also be your carbon tax credit. I've told you that for more than a decade because I'm reading directly from the CFR and RAND Corporation and others' plans. I haven't forgotten more than I know, forgotten more than most people know. It's that I read this RAND Corporation plan about federalizing all police and putting federal death squads on the streets. And 10 years from now, it will just be knowledge that I have. And I'll have to reach back into my memory to even remember where I got it. But they write about what's already been covertly set up here. But the issue here is people ask why I don't like Glenn Beck. Because the establishment is keeping their friends close, their enemies closer. At key points, Beck attacks Ron Paul. At key points, he says there are no FEMA camps. At key points, he says the MIAC, Homeland Security reports saying veterans and gun owners are terrorists might be reasonable. At key points, he gets your confidence and then he sabotages. And when I saw Nancy Pelosi last week, many see VAT option as cure for runaway deficits. Give me a close shot of this, please. This is the Gainesville Sun, and you can look up all these other Republicans and Democrats saying, oh, yes, the way to get us out of this deficit is more taxes. No. The average federal employee's money's gone up. The government tripled under Bush, has more than tripled in the first year under Obama. They want to destroy the economy. As Chuck Norris just said, I have their own documents. I just read to you what Maurice Strong said. But here's Nancy Pelosi calling for it. Now, in this 7-minute clip, I don't have time to play the whole thing. You can go watch it at Infowars.com if you want. In the article Kurt Nimmo wrote, Beck O'Reilly called for more taxation. They start talking about, oh, the liberals don't like you. Oh, I'm proposing taxes. Oh, I wonder why the liberals had you on ABC. And it's all about the celebrity of Beck and how much these two egomaniacs on TV together. And I just can't understand how they completely sell their souls out for money and power. There's nothing wrong with money and power if you got it through telling the truth, doing the right thing, and not being an evil person. But it's not what you're supposed to worship and do anything for. I mean, Glenn Beck and O'Reilly, with the words they use and the terms they use and about tightening our belts and discipline. Discipline is giving the government more taxes, officially setting up a federal and value-added tax over everything, federal inspectors in more of your lives, 2 more IRSs. And then I said last week, I said, watch, you're going to watch value-added and sales taxes proposed during a financial crisis in the next year. And because I read it in the treaty. What you read in a UN treaty is what happens, Jack. Even if the Senate doesn't ratify it, by fiat, they will pass all the tax laws to get in line with it, all the laws piecemeal to get like an erector set or Legos. They will put it all together in pieces. And what is in the treaty? A value-added tax of 2%. What did Lord Monckton tell you last week? What did I read out of the treaty here on air? Here it is. Here's the treaty. What does it have? A 2% flat tax on all air travel. A 30% tax on all coal. A 2% value added right off the top of the GDP. It's all in the Framework Convention on Climate Change, which is a convention like the Continental Convention, like the Constitution. This is their global government total takeover. They've built the platform. They've got the rocket fueled. They're launching the rocket. They're launching the New World Order right now. The greatest time to ever be alive, folks, because these people are eugenicists. They want to cut your resources off so they can socially engineer you and take your kids. Chuck Norris has finally gotten it completely. He understands it's about taking your kids. It's about the state ending the family. Folks, the Illuminati during the French Revolution, this is on record, tried to go to a 10-day work week, 10 days out of the week. What was it, like 9 months out of the year? They tried to abolish the family. It failed. China tried that. These people are the same group, ladies and gentlemen. It's real. You better wake up. They mean business. You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. They want you dead. You understand that? They want your family broken up. That's why they give men ridiculous expectations, women ridiculous expectations. Everybody thinks they're supposed to be a movie star. Everybody feels inadequate because they never became movie stars. Madison Avenue first makes you feel weak and insecure, then they can sell you with what will supposedly fulfill you. When the truth is, I've been in big movies with big movie stars. The truth is, I've hung out with people you wouldn't believe. The truth is, I've seen things you wouldn't believe. The truth is, because I took action against the New World Order, and most people were too timid to do it, it's taken me to very high mountains. I've been taken up to the mountain and offered great power by the system. But because I was offered the great power, I realized it was crap. It meant nothing. It means nothing. Money means something if your car isn't running and you can't feed your family. It's very important up to that point. Once you're comfortable, let me tell everybody out there, the yuppies who think they need more, that they'd be fulfilled if they had the newest iPod or if they had the newest car, it means nothing. What matters is that you're an honorable person and that you help other people and that you understand you're part of the species and part of a continuum and that there's evil that has to be faced. That's what will fulfill you. You're not fulfilled because you aren't tuned into reality. Your subconscious mind is hundreds of times more powerful than your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind knows everything that's going on. Everyone is a genius, but they can't focus it through their conscious lens. Hundreds of times stronger. You don't have access to that. You haven't trained yourself to have access to discernment, to understanding. And so your subconscious mind is telling you, I'm not happy. I don't like this. You may be in a $5 million mansion. You may have the hottest 25-year-old trophy wife prancing in on her high heel shoes. You're not happy. You know why you're not happy? Why isn't Tiger Woods happy? Why aren't all these sports people and movie stars not happy? Because they're not truly serving humanity. Now, the globalists know how to create counterfeits of serving. For the carbon tax, let's help the third world with all the well-meaning hippies when it's actually meant to kill the third world. Of course you hide killing the third world, starving them out under siege by saying that's warfare, the opposite of what it really is. You're killing them, you say you're saving them, to get all the well-meaning people to serve them. And that's the true essence of evil, is getting good to serve you. Get sophisticated. Get serious. I've said enough. I'm ranting. Just listen. I don't hate Glenn Beck. When I assess him, he looks like a completely mentally ill person.